So we just had the 50% off sale for Criterion Collection at Barnes & Noble, but now it's time for Arrow Video to get their treatment. And we went to a Barnes & Noble that was out of my way. I was on a trip to Las Vegas, so I went to go check out and hunt some 4Ks down at Barnes & Noble from Arrow Video. And we even did a little bonus one at my local Barnes & Noble, which was unsuccessful to say the least. We'll get to that later, but let's start off with the hunt for Blu-rays and 4Ks at Barnes & Noble for their 50% off Arrow Video sale. So yeah, I was in Las Vegas for the opening of Universal Horror Unleashed, which is the Halloween Horror Nights year-round installation that's going in there, and I thought, well, I might as well go out and see if a local Barnes & Noble around there had some 4Ks that I would want or that I would need. I do have some Arrow Video titles that I have to replace from my old collection that I lost after the Eaton fire burned my entire collection to the ground. And then there are some new Arrow titles that I don't have that would be nice to have as well. So I went to Las Vegas and checked out this Barnes & Noble. So you can see right here, here's the footage. I walked to the back, and going to a different Barnes & Noble every time is crazy because they have different layouts and all of that. So this was awesome to see that this one was one story, had a fairly sizable physical media selection. It was behind security checkpoints, which was kind of interesting to see. Normally they're not like that, but this one you had to go back, and I went and I looked for the Arrow Video titles and they weren't there. They had pulled almost all of the Arrow Video titles off the shelves to put the 50% off sticker on them, I think. And I had to ask up front, and the person who helped me had no idea what I was talking about. I had to ask another person, and then they finally said, oh yeah, we pulled all of those off the shelf, so I'll go grab them for you. So I was kind of robbed of the hunt for these, and obviously you can go check online if they're in stock or not, but I ended up going in and I wanted to grab the Arrow Video Friday the 13th titles, and I also wanted to get Trick or Treat from Arrow Video because I don't have that one yet. I didn't replace it with the Blu-ray, and I wanted to get the 4K from Arrow Video. They said that one was in stock, and it wasn't, sadly. It was a hold for somebody else, so I guess, you know, place that order for in-store pickup. That's no fun though, right? It's half the fun is going and finding these things and searching for them and hunting for them, but what I did get was pretty awesome. So I ended up getting the 3 different 4Ks of Friday the 13th that Arrow Video has done so far. So you can see right here, I've got the Friday the 13th, the remake right here. And I kept these in the plastic wrap because I haven't watched them yet. But I got Jason Goes to Hell. And then I got Jason X. And these were all $25, which is great to pay to get the slipcover and everything. I was holding out for these releases just because I do have the Friday the 13th box set right there. So I figured, hey, if I have this, it's probably going to be just as good as those 4Ks. I've heard the 4Ks are fantastic, so can't wait to dive into those. I have to rewatch Jason X and the remake before the Halloween Horror Nights Maze, the Jason Universe house. I like rewatching all of the movies for Horror Nights before I go to the event, so we'll watch that. Maybe I'll do a little video about it, who knows. But got those. And then when I got home, I went to my local Barnes & Noble to go check, to hunt for stuff. And this one was even more disappointing than the one in Las Vegas. This one was pitiful, to say the least. I'm sure that they have stuff in their warehouse and all of that, but the selection here, one, was tiny. It was smaller than the actual sign. The actual 50% off Arrow Video sign that they have up, the selection was smaller than that. And it just wasn't any of the stuff. I didn't even see any of these, any of the 4Ks or anything like that. I did check behind the counter. They have some of the box sets and stuff like that, but they didn't have a whole lot of stuff here, and that's just massively disappointing for anyone who's going in. You know, for the Criterion Collection sale, they have everything. You know, you go and you can get it. Here, if you want 4Ks for that also, you have to ask. They put them behind the register. That just doesn't make any sense to me. Here, it's just they don't have anything. And I know, like I said before, it's the part of the hunt. That's the fun of this. That's why I'm driving out to a store to go grab stuff. And it's not there. They don't have anything. It's just kind of disappointing because I can just buy all of this online. Obviously, it's way easier. You just put in the information, look it up, they'll ship it to you, and there you go. But you know, it's the fun of going out and seeing this and holding it. That's why we have physical media. Why we have all this stuff is to hold it, is to get it, to, you know, covet it. And you don't get that when the stores have like horrible inventory like this. So yeah, that's kind of disappointing, to say the least. But other than that, the, you know, Arrow Video, I like the big box first print run editions, the limited editions. Those are the pricey ones. Those are the first run things. You're not going to get those at Barnes & Noble. You really aren't. You're just not, unless you're really lucky. This one had Conan the Destroyer in the limited edition packaging, but I want the Conan Chronicles, not just the Destroyer on 4K or Blu-ray or whatever. So if you're really looking out and you're going out to get stuff, getting stuff like this that didn't come in a limited edition, that might just be in a slipcover, great. You can go out and you can hunt for this. It'll be more than fine. But for the special editions and stuff like that, you're not going to get it. And that's also kind of disappointing. You'd think that Arrow Video would be like, hey, Barnes & Noble is one of our biggest physical providers in the United States. Might want to send them some limited editions, but who knows? Maybe they do and I've just missed them. I don't know. Am I missing them? Have I missed them? Let me know if you've seen a limited edition in the wild of multiple titles at a Barnes & Noble or not. But that was me going out and hunting for Barnes & Noble titles for the 50% off sale. Have you grabbed anything? I know the sale goes until like September. This was on like the very first day, so you know, they didn't even have the stickers on them yet. But I went out and got something. Not a whole lot here. Still looking out for Trick or Treat, but I'll probably grab that one online, just, you know, to be completely honest. But what did you go out and grab? Let me know in the comments. I love hearing what people have, what people are trying to get in their physical media collections, what your collection looks like. Let me know. So if you like this video and you want to see more about physical media collecting tips or anything like that, you can check out this playlist right here, and it's got all of my physical media collecting tips.